The market falls overnight, then rallies throughout the day before closing about even. Have the bulls done enough? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so the market dipped below the pivot in the overnights, but as I said in yesterday's video, even if that happens, we should expect them to hold support and rally back towards 3,800, and that's exactly what happened. The market dipped below the pivot, then rallied up to 3,800 before falling back at the close. Now the question is, can we still call this a bullish structure? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the Nasdaq. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so with the dip below the pivot, normally that would completely rule out a bullish structure. However, the way that we rallied and how the SPX looked does give us a bit of hope for the bulls. So let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 5-minute futures chart for the S&P 500. And as you can see on the futures chart, okay, we did break down below the pivot. However, when the market opened, we were back up in the pivot. And so the SPX does not have this dip below the pivot on its chart. So in essence, we have two different views on the chart. If you only looked at the futures chart, okay, you would say, oh, okay, we broke the pivot and then rallied. This is probably going to be a corrective structure. But if you only looked at the SPX chart, you would say, oh, we held the pivot and rallied. This is looking like a bullish structure. So I'm a little in between which count we are in right now. So they're going to look very similar anyway. So I do have them both on the screen here. And then we'll talk about one other count as well. So the move up off the low, again, the pivot held on the SPX. So there is a potential that this was wave 5 up. There's also potential it was the A wave up, okay, of this ABC we're looking at. So what do the bulls have going for them? Well, the bulls have the SPX chart, okay, because it held the pivot. And also this move down, so you have an A, if you're counting this as an ABC, you have an A up, okay, a B down that broke the pivot, and then a C wave up. Well, a C wave up here you would expect to target higher towards the 38, 37 region, whereas our wave 5 target was right at this 3,800 region. And so we hit the wave 5 target, but not the C wave target. So the bulls do have that going for them, that the structure does look more like a 5-wave structure in that regard. And you could argue that this wave 5 is a diagonal since this wave 4 did break lower. So you do have that going for you for the bulls. The bears have the fact that we broke the pivot going for them, okay, and the overall bearish nature of the chart currently. So again, we're kind of in between on these counts, but let's go through them so we can understand what we're looking at. So let's start with the ABC count, okay? So we're counting this as an A, B, C up to complete wave A here. But the C wave's pretty short, as I said. We would have expected that to hit that 3840 region. And then you would look for a wave B pullback and then a wave C higher. And we'll get into the targets in just 1 second. For the bullish count, okay, you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up for wave 1. All right, and then you're looking for an ABC down for wave 2 that you can see down here, and then you would start wave 3 higher. So wave B and wave 2 are going to have the same target because they have the same retrace. The B wave targets the 0.5 to 0.764 of wave A, and the wave 2 also targets the same percentage retrace of wave 1. So the target range for this B wave or wave 2 is going to be 37.22 down to 36.78. And the key level is going to be this 36.78. This is the other count I was talking about. If this 36.78 level breaks, then it becomes very likely we are going to come down and make a new low here, and we need to push lower to finish off this big move down that we're talking about here. And we don't have a bigger corrective structure or bullish structure in place. We just need another low first before we step into those counts. So it is possible that they need another low here, and that would occur if they break 36.78. This is not my primary count. It is not my expectation, but we do need to be aware of that level so that we know, hey, 36.78 broke. We should be expecting some lower numbers coming. So again, the target for this wave B or wave 2 pullback was 37.22 to 36.78. Then we would expect a move up in either wave 3, right, or wave C. Now, the difference is going to be how high they push. As it stands right now, if you get a typical wave B pullback here, the target for wave C is going to be the 1.0 extension of A and B. That's typical for a wave C. It can push higher than that. It can go to the 1, 2, 3, 6, even a little higher than that. But typically, they go to the 1.0 extension, which would be around 38.59, given a wave B that hits the target down here. So That's what we would look for this to be a wave C up as opposed to a wave 3. Now, a wave 3 should push through this 1.0 to the 38.98 level, then come back and hold the pivot, okay, whenever we get the pivot in place. And as we get down here in this wave B target and start higher, we can start to get that level in place. Then they come back and hold the pivot and then move higher, and that's a very strong distinction between the C wave and wave 3. So wave 3 should push up to the 1236 around 38.98, then come back, test the pivot, and then push higher again. Whereas wave C generally comes up to the 1.0 to 123 extension, comes back and breaks back through the pivot to the downside, okay, letting us know that that move up was not a impulsive move and was in fact a corrective move from there. So what we're going to be watching for now is for this pullback to occur in this B wave or wave 2. Okay, we already got to move down to the 3740 area, and now it looks like we're getting a B wave bounce. So remember, all these waves in this A, B, C are going to be 3 waves. So you would have A down here, B up of B, and then you get a C wave down in B to complete wave B, rather, toward our target level here of 3722 down to 3678. Assuming they can do that and hold in this area, then we can get our parameters for where we're going to target this wave C, as well as where our pivot's going to be, so that we can start to understand which count we were in. Again, if they break 3678, then we should be on the lookout for a new low incoming to complete this structure down. So those are the 3 main counts that we're watching overnight. Over on the Nasdaq, okay, again, very similar to what we're looking at on the SP 500. You have the pivot that broke in the overnight futures. However, when it did open, it was back in the pivot, rallied quickly up and gave us a potential wave 5 up or a potential wave A up. So we either have wave 1 in place or wave A in place. Then we're looking for B2 and then C or 3 up, just like on the ES. Our targets for the B and 2 pullback are going to be 11,409 down to 11,229. So if 11,229 breaks, it's going to become much more likely we break this low down here and have a new low incoming on the Nasdaq before we can make either a bigger corrective structure higher or a impulsive move off of that low. So very similar setup. We're going to need to see where this wave B or wave 2 comes down to get exact numbers. And then we're going to look for the 1.0 extension, which right now, assuming you get a standard wave B pullback, would put us at 11,992 as a target for the C wave. And for a wave 3, we would look for 12,152 as the target, and then a pullback and test of that pivot. Hopefully that holds, and then a move higher from there to kind of confirm that we have a bullish structure on our hands as opposed to a corrective one. All right, so very similar over here. We have the ABC or 1, 2, 3 setup, looking for that pullback down to support, and then looking for either that wave C or 3 higher that we can figure out which one that is based on how high it goes and if we can hold the pivot on the pullback. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. Once you're there, you'll find our 2 membership plans. Both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to love it. I want you to be part of our trading family and make sure it's everything you want before you ever spend a penny. We have training videos in there. We have an education area. We have a bunch of very smart traders who use different methods to trade. So it's a really great community to learn or improve your trading. All right, in the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates. You get my buy and sell alerts, as well as all your Elliott Wave questions answered. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade them, which means our trades last anywhere from a few days to a few months. Now, lately, because the market's been so kind of wishy-washy, we've been doing some more day trading than usual, but typically, we are swing trading room. But if you are looking for consistent day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method, okay, that I highlighted in yesterday's video that came up with a 1,400% win. And he gets those kind of wins all the time because of the style he uses, that reduced risk binary method. Okay, it's a very unique trading style that you kind of have to see to understand because he showed it to me. I thought it was very unique. I had not seen it before. So that's why we give you that 7-day free trial, so you can come in, check it out, see what he's all about. and be part of our trading family. He also built a challenge account where he put $4,000 into a account and trades mini ES futures using disciplined trading methods that allows him to build a very small account into a giant retirement or savings account. He's averaging 3 to 4% gains per week in there and doing very well. We would love to have you guys in these rooms so we can make some money together. All right, guys, key takeaways for today. We're looking for a pullback that holds in this wave B, wave 2 area, and then we're going to look for a move higher from there, okay? Once we get that hold and move higher, we can start to assess where exactly we're targeting for this wave C or wave 3 and decipher which count we're in at that time. However, if they cannot hold this 3678 area, then it does become more likely we would be looking at new lows to finish off this move down before we start another impulsive or bigger corrective structure higher. Over on the Nasdaq, very similar setup. We have the ABC or 1, 2, 3 setup. On the Nasdaq, we're looking for a wave 2 or B down to that 11,409 to 11,229 area, and then a move up in C or 3 that we can figure out from that point. If they do break 11,229, then we should expect lower lows before we see a bigger corrective or impulsive move up. All right, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.